Welcome to the code lab for the Grow SDK. The Grow SDK is a file-based CMS and static site generator for building high-quality websites. This screencast covers the code lab available at growsdk.org. Let's start by installing the command line tools. Go to growsdk.org, click Get Grow, and if you're on a Mac, copy the install command. Paste it in Terminal, hit Enter, and follow the on-screen prompts. The command downloads and installs the app into your home directory, and then it sets up an alias. To use the app, just type Grow and hit Enter. The command help will be displayed immediately. The next thing we'll want to do is start off by initializing a Grow site with a theme. I'll type Grow init Codelab and then provide a directory to download the theme to. Grow pulls the Codelab theme into this directory. Now we can start a live development server using the Grow run command. The site that you see on the right side is generated entirely by the Codelab theme. Each page in the site is generated from an individual content file. I'll go ahead and show you what's inside the actual theme. Each Grow site is encapsulated entirely into a directory. From now on, we'll refer to the project directory as a pod. Pods contain everything you need to build a site. This includes templates, translations, static files, source files, a pod spec configuration file, and content files. This is what the pod configuration file looks like. It's got metadata about the pod, project title, and the description, localization information, flags, preprocessors, and deployment configurations. Here's the structure of the content directory. In the Codelab pod, we have two content collections, pages and posts. Each collection is a single blueprint which defines the structure of all of its content documents. This blueprint defines the URLs for each piece of content in the pages collection and also the template used to render them. Here's what the About content document looks like. You can change various fields in the content document and observe the resulting change in the page to the right. Content documents always have two parts, a YAML front matter and a body. This document has a markdown formatted body. Each document has full control over its representation. By overriding the path field, I can change the URL path that the document is served at. Now let's explore a content document with a custom template. The team page leverages custom fields where we can store structured content. Because of how we've set up our template, it's easy to modify the content of this page, including the order and the values of each of the fields. You might also be wondering about some of the syntax of the YAML front matter. A $ prefix indicates that a field is a built-in field. An @ suffix tells Grow that you want the field's value to be extracted for translation. Let's take a look at the custom template used for the team page. The view field sets this at views/team.html. By default, Grow templates use the Jinja 2 template language. The team page's template references content in the content document by using the doc context variable. As you can see here, we can loop through people using the syntax for_person in doc.people. When a content document doesn't explicitly specify the view field, it inherits the configuration from its blueprint file. Here, we've specified the view to be views/pages.html for all content in this collection. So all documents in the pages collection use that template, which is illustrated to the right. In this example, the base template entirely generates both the navigation menu on the left side of the page using the g.docs built-in template tag and the language select box at the bottom of the page using the doc.locales context variable. Now let's talk about localization. One of Grow's goals is to make localization flexible and a natural part of your website production process. Localization starts in your pod spec file, where you set site-wide localization config. I've configured 4 locales, with the default locale set to EN. From this configuration, we can easily automatically generate a language select menu. I'll go ahead and add another locale, ES, to the list. Thanks to the Babel library and CLDR, these choices are already pre-translated. After I choose the ES locale, notice that Grow automatically serves the pages at a URL prefixed with the locale code. This required no additional work from us, other than configuration of the page's collections blueprint. It's here where I can specify both the default path format and also the localized path format. If I do something like modify the localized path format, the URLs change immediately everywhere throughout the site for pages in this collection. Again, no template changes were made, just a change to the site config. Now let's talk about translations. All translation data is stored in the translations directory within your pod. I've already showed you how content is tagged for translation. Grow extracts tagged strings into a file called messages.pot. This is the message catalog template for your pod. I can now use the grow extract command to extract strings from all the tagged content and the views, which will automatically update this message template. The message catalog for a locale contains the source message ID and its corresponding translation. To leverage translated content in a view, you must reference the string using a translation tag. The underscore template function is an alias to the getText translation tag. When I add new content and tag it for translation, running the grow extract command will update the message catalog template with the newly extracted content. To make it easier to get started with localized development, Grow also includes a machine translation function that integrates with Google Translate, which can be used to translate a single locale at a time. Note that machine translations may be useful for development and to work with design issues related to localization, but you probably shouldn't rely on them for production websites. Now let's illustrate adding a new page to our site. You can do this by simply adding a new content document. The menus and links are all automatically generated from the site structure. I'll add a new page and refresh the site, and you'll be able to see it added to the menu. Let's talk about building the site. I can use the grow build command to generate a static build of the site, which is dumped to a folder on my machine. Site builds only contain generated files and never include source files. Let's take a look at deployment. Deployments are configured in the pod spec file. Here's the default deployment for this pod. The deployment's destination is a local deployment. Now I'll run through the deployment. Using the grow deploy command, Grow will compile the translations, test the site, and then show me a diff of what's about to be deployed. Deployment is really quick and usually happens in just a second. Now I'll make a change to a page, and I'll do the deployment again. You'll be able to see that only the changes are actually deployed. That's it for the Codelab. Grow is still experimental and we've got plenty of work to do. Please check out the documentation at growsdk.org and also the project page where you can learn more about the project, join the discussion, and contribute. Thanks a lot for watching.